Sunscreens failing SPF tests, how worried should we be? First, let's talk about getting this SPF number on the label. It's actually a lot less exact than you'd think. SPF tests are done on actual people in a lab with a special UV lamp. Essentially, you see how much UV it takes to turn skin pink with versus without the sunscreen. But it's actually way more complex than it sounds. A lot of little things can change the results by a lot, so there are really detailed rules for everything. The people's skin tone, how to spread the sunscreen, even the colors of the walls in the room where they're looking at pink skin. But even with these rules, there's a ton of variation with the SPFs different labs get for the same sunscreen. A standard comparison sunscreen is always tested at the same time. For SPF 50, it's usually this one. This can measure 44 or 82 and still counts as accurate. For SPF 50 sunscreen, this study found labs got between 25 and 100. There's also tons of variation in SPF measurements in this other study. This is just a limit of the test without anything going wrong. It's like how you can only zoom into a photo so much before it gets blurry. So with that background, 19 out of 20 sunscreens getting over SPF 24 is really good. It's better than a lot of the other consumer tests in the past, especially since the lab that Choice used tends to get lower SPFs than other labs. There's obviously room for improvement. 2 new SPF methods were approved late last year. They don't rely as much on different human volunteers and eyeballing how pink skin is. This is like using a camera that takes sharper photos, so these should give more exact results, plus they should be cheaper, so it'll be easier to recheck SPFs regularly. With the old test, brands usually just got one number from one lab at the start when the sunscreen was first approved, and then they checked that other aspects of the sunscreen stayed the same over time. SPF should also stay the same, but sometimes this doesn't work. I'm guessing that's what happened with some of the lower numbers, especially this one. In general, chemical sunscreen formulas are more robust, so this might explain why none of the mineral sunscreens tested got over SPF 40. Hopefully brands and regulators make more use of these new methods. But the biggest issue with sunscreens is usually user error, how much you apply, because studies show that most of us aren't applying anywhere near enough, and this includes so many of you because you got so mad at me about this video.
Why are you boring me? I'm right.
This spoon is really not that big. It is a 1/4 teaspoon. That's how much you should be aiming to apply just on your face, and it's a shot glass for your entire body. If you applied these thin fingers of SPF 50, you'd get SPF 12.5, letting in 8% of the sun, twice as much as if you applied SPF 25 properly. You should also be layering different types of protection. But even if you've been applying it badly, you're still doing your skin a lot of good. The NAMBA trial that found all of these sunscreen benefits, hard risk of skin cancer, no detectable skin aging, that used SPF 16 sunscreen.